Boom! What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we got another new brewery out of Colorado. I feel like every brewery I'm reviewing nowadays is coming out of Colorado sometime during the week. So, I've gotten a couple beers from this brewery. It was kind of like a line of that they did when it comes to like their pink slip. It was like pink slip, work from anywhere. It was two stouts and a fruited sour, but they always had like this kind of theme they were going with on these ones, and they were making them all like maple breakfasty kind of theme. So I'm really excited because today we're gonna be looking at the pink slip from Cerebral Brewing, and it's their This is their breakfast sour, which it's with blueberry and maple syrup. So I'm really excited if they're trying to kind of recreate like a blueberry waffle kind of thing in a sour. I don't think I've ever had any situation to where they've done that in a sour. All I know is whenever I do like a fruited sour, a lot of it's just like fruits and all that stuff, and not maybe trying to create like a breakfast in general. So I'm really excited to try this one out. This one comes in at a whopping 8% ABV. So yeah, definitely up there when it comes to a lot of the fruit sour stuff that I've had. Sometimes they kind of average around like the maybe 6.4 to 6% when it comes to like a nice thick fruited sour. So yeah, I don't think I've reviewed anything from Cerebral Brewing before, but they look like they're pretty cool. They're located in the Bluebird district of Denver, Colorado, and a little bit about them before we open up this can. Their goal is to combine scientific methodology with an artistic viewpoint to create extremely drinkable beers spanning a broad spectrum of styles. So they like creating stuff that is all kinds of unique styles. Their can arts are pretty unique when it comes to that. Let's see. I really like their logo. I don't know if it's on here, but yep. Okay, so it's in the corner. So when you're looking for anything from Cerebral, it's always going to have that kind of brain on the top. So that kind of look like a hoppy kind of brain little situation. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, this can art's pretty nice. It's very simplistic. But enough of me rambling on about just how this beer looks and all that stuff. It's time for us to crack this guy open and see what this thing's all about. So let's see. I'm expecting, since it's trying to recreate like waffles with maple syrup and blueberries and all that stuff, I'm expecting it pretty thick. Maybe some bready notes in here. I don't know. But I'm expecting really nice tart kind of blueberries in here, along with maybe like a nice sweetness. Maybe like I have like a creamy mouthfeel due to like the maple syrup and the lactose that they have in here. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see what this is all about. So, let's see what this is like on the smell. Oh yeah, definitely getting like that maple syrupy on the nose, a little bit of that like tart blueberry right off the bat. Yeah, the maple syrup is actually coming up through a lot more than I thought it would. Yeah, that smells absolutely delicious. Kind of smells like blueberry waffles with maple syrup. That's pretty much what I'm getting on the nose. So that's gonna be interesting. So without further ado, let's pour this guy. Gonna be drinking out of my Black Horizon Brewing Company little glass this afternoon. Let's see how this pours. Oh yeah, definitely has like a nice kind of pinkish, almost bluish color. Not really thick in any way, in my opinion. It's getting darker the more I pour it, but it's not really having any of those like heavier kind of chunkier kind of stuff in there. But look at that. It's a really nice color. Definitely has that like blueberry kind of color to it, I guess. Whenever I think of blueberries having that kind of reddish, pinkish, bluish kind of color to them, whenever they're like, when it's cooked and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, maple syrup is still coming out really strong in this one. Thinking now that it's poured and everything, might be a little bit more effervescent. I don't know. Definitely maybe more of like a bubbly kind of mouthfeel. Not really creamy, but who knows, it might. So without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. Whoa. Okay, that's definitely a lot more maple syrup flavor than I thought. So, right off the bat, maple syrup is hitting you right in the face, just like letting you know that's going to be the most predominant flavor in this. I'm getting like a nice tart blueberry coming at the end that kind of like mellows out the sweetness from the maple syrup, but kind of leaving that after you just have waffles aftertaste, that like maple syrupy kind of little bit of a breadiness but not too much. Overall, this is definitely going to be a very forward maple syrup flavor, like fruited sour. I'm definitely getting a nice tartness to it from the blueberries in there. That's weird, but it's definitely unique. And yeah, it's very, very interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. But overall, yeah, I like the maple syrup flavors. I like the tart blueberry. It's really nice. That breadiness kind of comes in subtle at the end, and then you kind of get stuck with that like maple syrup aftertaste, like sitting in your mouth. Definitely not as creamy as I thought it would be. Definitely more of a bubbly effervescence kind of fruited sour. But overall, yeah, not bad at all. Definitely not really getting any booziness either. So before we go on, let's look and see what Untapped has to say about this one. So, like I said, it's an 8% ABV, and their description says it's a fruited breakfast sour with blueberries, maple syrup, and lactose. So, I think with the maple syrup and that lactose in there is trying to like recreate a little bit of like that kind of mouthfeel you would get from a waffle, even though mostly on the flavor I'm just getting straight up maple syrup. I would have liked to see if they would have actually put actual waffles into this, or like maybe waffle flavoring. I think that would have been pretty cool to kind of have those tart, just kind of recreate the overall experience of a fruit, like a blueberry waffle with maple syrups. But overall, I think I don't want to say they hit the nail on the head complete with this one, because when you look at the picture, there's definitely, you see the waffles, you see the maple syrup, you see the blueberries, but I kind of wanted that whole experience when it comes to that. And that kind of I wanted a little bit more of the waffle to kind of come out. Definitely, the maple syrup for me is a little bit too much. Yeah, I could have wanted that a little bit toned down, a little bit more. The blueberry, I wanted that a little bit more of that tart blueberry to come out. But overall, yeah, it's not bad, not bad at all. So, looking at what Untapped says for similar beers, before we actually look and see what the average rating on this one is. So they recommend, if you can't get your hands on this one, there's some other recommendations that they think you would like. So you got the Cherry Napkin Magic from Little Beaver Brewery. You got the Rhythm of Existence from Finback Brewery. And which brains are this? So they have one of the brains. Which one's this? So they recommend the Passion Fruit Strawberry Orange brains. Kind of be similar like this, which, I don't know. I don't think that would be similar in my opinion. We got Pursuit of Freedom, which is this. Which one is this? The Yuzu Raspberry, which from Revolution Brewing Company, and then you have the Strawberry Kiwi Pie from Weldworks. So, yeah, I guess out of all of these, I would probably recommend the Cherry Napkin Magic to be the most similar out of all the 5 showing for similar beers. I feel like that tart cherry would probably, and like let's see what the Cherry Napkin Magic is. That's a kettle sour, so definitely out of all those, I think this has more of those kettle sour characteristics, to where the Cherry Napkin Magic would probably be the most similar to this. But let's see what the average rating on this one is. So looking on Untapped here, with over 1,206 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.05 out of 5, which is pretty good for that many ratings. I don't know if I'm going to give it that high of a rating on mine, but we shall see. So let's see what other people have to say. So this guy gave it a 4.5 out of 5, saying this beer fucks. I don't know what that means, but I guess he likes it. This guy gave it a 4 out of 5. This guy gave it a 3.75 out of 5, saying my first crack at Cerebral Brewing is the trio of beers. This first one is Pink Slip, which is a breakfast sour that tastes unique. Takes a unique approach with maple syrup. The color is great, but the concept was a bit off. I am a little bit more on the agreeing side of this guy. Yeah, it's the concept behind this beer worked. Like, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I'm not sure if they completely encumbered the idea with having a fruited sour with maple syrup in it, because it's just too overly maple syrupy. Now, to me, the blueberry isn't as pungent as I want it to be. If you're trying to think of, when you look at the label, you want a little bit of a waffle flavor in there, because they're trying to give you an effect of this is something that you would have with waffles, and it's like they're making it like a breakfast sour. I understand putting maple syrup in there to kind of give it that feeling, but I feel like the maple syrup in there is a little bit too predominant. So let's see. This guy gave it a 3.5. This guy gave it a 4.75 out of 5. This guy gave it a 2 out of 5. This guy gave it a 3 out of 5, saying too much maple. 4 out of 5. 3.25 out of 5. This guy gave it a 4.25, saying it really exceeded expectations. Tastes just like blueberry waffles. Yeah, I wanted a little bit more of the breadiness, but to each their own. So yeah, reviews are all over the place with this one. So let's see. Oh yeah, Rough. You got to get yourself on Untapped, brother. It's a fun little platform that we all use. But overall, yeah, this one's not bad. But I think they kind of missed the mark, in my opinion, when it comes to what they were trying to achieve. If they just toned down the maple syrup a little bit, kind of pushed forward that tart blueberry to kind of give you that tart blueberry kettle sour feel, I think it would have been a little bit better. I would have liked to have the maple syrup to be more of the undertones, to kind of have a balance of sweetness for that blueberry that you know is going to be very, very tart and very pungent in your face. So, to me, it's overall a not bad beer at all, but I agree with the one dude who said he kind of concept was a bit off on it. Like, on paper, this should work fantastic, but when it comes to the creation of it, a little bit missed on this mark. So, let's start figuring out what we're going to do for ratings on this one. Let's just see. Can art. Yeah, can art's really simple. It's kind of misleading in my opinion, just because they have the waffles and like the waffle, maple syrup, and blueberry thing on there, when mostly you only get the maple syrup and the blueberries, even though it's like the ratios, in my opinion, aren't the greatest. But overall, yeah, this isn't bad. I like that there's no booziness to it. It would have been weird to have that kind of waffle flavor with a boozy backtone in it. So that's good that that's not predominant at all. But yeah, the can art's nice. I like the kind of like the go from white to like pink, and then you look in the background kind of having like faded waffles on the top. I don't think you really don't see it on the white part. But overall, yeah, it's a pretty solid can art. I don't know if it's something that would completely catch my attention when it comes to finding at a liquor store or a bottle shop. The only thing that might have made me think about getting this, if I saw it at a liquor store, would be just the waffles on there, and seeing that it's a sour, be like, okay, let's see what this is all about. That would probably be the attention grabber for me. But overall, yeah, not bad at all for the labeling. I'd give it like a 3.75 out of 5. Not bad. But let's see. If I got this in a flight at Cerebral Brewing, would I get another one? To be honest, probably not. It's the ratio, like I said before, the ratios will become with the maple syrup and the blueberry just kind of needed to be changed a little bit. I wanted more blueberry with the undertones of maple syrup and not the backwards practically, where it's mostly maple syrup with tart blueberry like undertones. So with that, I think they kind of missed the mark on that. I really like the color to it. It has a nice kind of deep red / pink, and I don't really see any blues in there. It has a nice effervescence mouthfeel, not really creamy in any way. But yeah, I don't think I'd get another one of these again if I got in a flight. I think I'd be perfectly okay with just having one of those little 5-ounce glasses of it. So what is my final rating going to be on this one? I think, like I said, it's not my favorite. I know other people agree on Untapped that it was something that the mark was a little bit missed on this. I think I'm going to give this a solid 6 out of 10. It's okay. Not my favorite. Like I said, the maple syrup is a little bit too predominant. And I wanted to see more tart blueberry and having like just a little bit of a maple syrup at the end to kind of balance it out with sweetness and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. A solid 6 out of 10. So if you want to give it a shot, since there's a bunch of people who actually enjoyed this one, so if you're a fan of maple syrup, you might enjoy this. If you're not a fan of like really tart like sour ales, this might be one for you, just because the tart blueberry in here isn't the most predominant flavor. So with tartness, I'd give it like maybe a 2 out of 5 for tartness. Not bad at all. But overall, I think that's pretty much, yeah, it just missed the mark when Tucky, which kind of sucks, because I know I have another can of it downstairs, because I got 2 of these, pretty much the Cerebral breakfast pack, and I forgot there was a sour in there, and my dad isn't really a sour drinker, so I'm probably going to be drinking another one of these cans eventually. but it'll be just one to kind of just get out of the way. But overall, yeah, not bad, but not the greatest. Pretty much what this review is going to come down to at the end. So I don't want to say try at your own risk, but if you want to give it a shot, there may be some notes in here that you may enjoy. Like I said, if you're a big fan of maple syrup, this may be the one for you. So just keep that in mind when you purchase this, or if you purchase it, because there's a lot of maple syrup in here. But other than that, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live doing a review. I have a couple of reviews coming up this week, so keep an eye out for those. Not sure. I don't think I'll be doing one tomorrow because I got to go into work along because we got some brewing to do during this week. So reviews between like Monday and Wednesday might not be coming up. So I'm going to say maybe the next review is going to probably be on Thursday. So keep an eye out for that. I'm not 100% sure yet, so we'll see what happens. So other than that, like I said earlier, with Ruff talking about it, if you're looking for a nice social media aspect when it comes to beer drinking, checking in beers, getting badges, all that kind of thing, talking to other beer drinkers out there, always going to recommend Untapped. It's a fun little platform. The link to my profile is down in the description below. You can find people like me, Kentucky Duchess, Not the Real Gerard Butler, the Typhons, Sean and Lizzie, a bunch of people on there. So it's just a fun little place where we all check in beers and kind of see what we're all drinking. So it's a really, really cool platform. But other than that, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do so. It would help out me a lot. And I'm going to end it like I always end it. We're going to get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink, drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time, people. Cheers.